Hello, my friends. Welcome to Friday Night Feldman, or in this case, Friday Night Feldman's. But nobody's here yet, so we're gonna wait for you guys to join on. Oh, starting to join now. Here we come. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Chloe. What? I couldn't read that. Troy Albin Brewer, uh, King of Logic. Yo, yo, yo. Dazed in 65. What's up? Angela Drummond, hey. 6 feet of sunshine, hi. Well, 6 feet of sunshine, hello there. Hello, my friend Troy Allen Brewer. Well, now they're going too fast. Hi, Gina. Good to see everybody here. Thanks for joining. I know, 2 nights in a row. This is crazy. It's madness. It's wacky. It doesn't ever happen. But tonight we have a co star. You haven't seen her in weeks. She's been hiding in the background, but now she's here for all to see to prove that I haven't tied her up and left her in a closet somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Courtney.
Hi.
Hey,
How was everybody doing?
hey from the Yukon in Canada, eh?
Oh my.
You know the Yukon, eh?
Yeah, Whitehorse and well, there's another city there. There's a few cities there, I'm sure, but it is the Great White North.
The Great White North. See,
Yes.
thanks for that historical and geographical information.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. So, what's everybody up to tonight? It's Friday night. What are we getting into? Hi from New Orleans, Louisiana. Hi, howdy. Howdy there. We had a good old time in New Orleans last time we played there. Yes, we did. Played
Indeed.
down in New Orleans Square, and we packed that place out too. What do we have in there? About 1,200 people, I think.
Indeed,
It was a
yes,
nice
indeed.
packed place.
It was lovely.
Oh, Canada, stay there. The U.S. is no fun these days. I wish we were in Canada. Well, not really.
I love Canada.
I love Canada too, but we're in a much warmer place right now, so that's good.
I have to say I like it here, temperature-wise, a lot better. And there's
Somebody's taking a break from patients to say hi.
oh
Wait, we
my.
must recognize RN
Yes.
6011. Hi,
Thank you.
RN 6011, and thank you for your service.
Yes. We
We
salute
appreciate
you.
you. We appreciate you doing the good deed. And
Yes.
stop watching us and get back to work because people need your help right now, for God's sakes. Just
Hey,
joking. We
everybody
love you.
deserves
We
a
love you.
break.
That's right. Everybody deserves a break, especially the ones that are on the front line taking
Mm-hmm.
all the heat. It's
Exactly.
not easy to do. Not
That's
easy to
right.
do. And I'm grateful that it's them and not me personally, because I'm too much of a wuss. I can help people with my voice, but when it comes to having to deal with injuries and stuff like that, I'm not good with that at all. I get weak. I feel too much empathy for others, so it makes it very hard for me. So I definitely have a lot of respect for the nurses of the world and the doctors of the world who can do that job.
Yes, me
Hey
too.
guys, still hoping for a Dream Little Dream special edition. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. You can talk to Lisa Rocco. I know that she certainly is. She's one of the key holders of that, but unfortunately, it's a lot more complicated than we thought it was. Than we thought it would be, because actually, her and I did take a meeting with a person that we thought would be able to help us, and it turns out he couldn't even help us because there's so many levels of the red tape to get to the Dream Little Dream stuff, because the studio that originally owned it doesn't exist anymore, so you have to figure out who they sold it to, and then you have to go to the studio that they sold it to that probably doesn't really care much about the property and convince them why it's a worthwhile property, and then you got to get the keys to the vault and all this kind of stuff. But would it be worth it? Absolutely, it would be worth it. I would love to do that. It's still one of my favorite projects, and I would love to revisit it one day. But that said, I also am probably going to be taking quite a break from anything to do with the two Corys after this little run of events. It's been very emotionally taxing and I don't think that I really want to continue dealing with it, to be honest. So that said, there's other things. There's other things, and there's lots of exciting stuff. But speaking of Dream Little Dream, it will be heavily featured. At least elements of it will be heavily featured on my upcoming box set, which is very exciting. That's going to be my next new project after this whole truth thing is done. The Love Left 25th anniversary, or by the time we get it out, it might be the 30th anniversary, but the Love Left 30th anniversary box set is going to be awesome because for those of you who know the album, it was my first album, and it was a collection of songs which basically ended up, a lot of them ended up in different movies. Like most of them ended up in different movies. It's So Simple was in my first ever TV movie of the week. It was an after school special that I did with Drew Barrymore and Tatum O'Neal. And it was called 15 and Getting Straight. And that was the first time we ever performed It's So Simple. And actually, Drew and Tatum sang it with me along with the rest of the cast. It was like the big finale for the movie. So, anyway, that was when I premiered It's So Simple, long time ago. And so that was on the first album, obviously. But one of the great things, I don't want to give away too much. All I can tell you is there's going to be many versions of the songs that you originally heard. So they all went through different stages to get to where they are. So I can tell you that, like, okay, so It's So Simple was from that movie. Perfect Woman and Feeling Funky were both from Dream Little Dream 2. And there was another one. What else was on that album? Uh, I think Vision
For
for You might have been in a movie. Howard Stern has been talking about you. You should Zoom his Sirius XM show. Well, Howard Stern, I don't know what, God knows what he's been saying about me, but if he had anything positive to say, I would think he would probably contact me. He knows how to reach me if he wants to contact me. But, things weren't left on a good foot, I would say, with Howard. He was very disrespectful to me, and he's never really. Oh, good things. Well,
well, there
interesting.
you go. Maybe it's not all bad.
But anyway, so I feel like Howard should probably be all over this topic and what we're dealing with and
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
would be
going
great.
through. And if he got involved, he could really make a difference, and he could lend his voice to something that would be very, very important and very powerful, and would be huge news, actually, if he got behind this movement and helped the kids. And he has the power to do it. So maybe you can recommend that to him. If you have his ear, or if you're a hardcore fan of his show, then maybe you can drop the bomb and tell them that they should probably get behind this movement and help me before the movie is gone forever, because it will be gone in only 9 days. Wait, Howard Stern was extremely disrespectful, but will pray he supports kids too. There you go.
Well, actually, you should talk about your man cow interview
Yeah,
and
did anybody hear the Man Cow show today? Anyone? Yes, somebody heard it. That's cool.
that's great.
Cherie Laverne.
Cherie.
Hi, Cherie.
Hi.
Yeah, well, so Mancow was very surprising today, actually. He was very positive, um, and supportive. And I was kind of shocked because I was expecting it was going to be some, big standoff and we were going to end up getting into it. Because the last time we did the show, as Courtney will remember with the Angels, we got so offended that we were about to leave. He was very rude to her
Yes.
and very dismissive of our relationship and all this stuff. And he asked me what he did because he like starts off, he's like, "Oh, it's Mad Cow. What's going on?" And I was like, yeah, dude, like, what's up? And he's like, "Well, I heard you have a problem with me. What's going on? I mean, come on, we've been friends since the '80s. I'm trying to figure out what's happening." And I was like, yeah, the problem is that you were rude. and I basically was going to walk out the last time I was there, and then I decided, I would stick it out, but I also decided I would never do your show again because you were rude. And he was like, "Well, it might have been a bad day for me. What can I say, man? I have them too. I'm a disc jockey. What do you want?" So anyway, I'm sorry, man. Sorry if I offended you. I really didn't mean it. But let's talk about this thing. Anyway, so but it was good because he he talked about he talked about some very serious things, but most importantly, he confessed to me that he had been abused when he was a kid. He told me that he was raped as a boy in the entertainment industry. He admitted that to me on air, and then told me that he supported me, of course, and that he thought it was tragic that more people aren't talking about this and that more people aren't supporting it. So that was kind of miraculous. And I told him, thank you for admitting that on the air. That's like really heavy. I
Hmm.
mean, that's Man Cow. That's who we're talking about. He's a DJ in Chicago, number one morning DJ in Chicago. But anyway, so, it was really awesome that he took that moment to tell the world and share that and join his voice with all of the other survivors who need that. So, we all need each other's voices. We all need each other's courage. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a literal army of people standing up together
Yes.
and saying, you know what, we shouldn't be ashamed of this anymore. We've got to fight it. And I pray every day that people in my industry will do just that, that they will turn their backs to the evil that is corrupting and possessing this industry, and that they will, for once, do the right thing. It's one thing to do charity stuff and, lend your voice to these big fundraisers that are all over TV and it gets you a lot of positive attention. But it's another thing to do something that's actually selfless, which is do something that you don't want to do. Do something that you wake up and say, God, I really don't want to have to do this. Why should I have to do this? But I'm going to do it anyway because it could help other people. That's called being selfless. And that's what the world needs more of right now. And I beg people that I grew up with, I beg people in my industry who experienced what I experienced, who saw what I went through, and who also were victims to come forward and lend your voice and share your support, because I promise you that we can build an army and we can bring this evil to justice. We can stop it, but I can't do it alone, and I can't continue fighting alone. So at this point, I'm done. I'm done until somebody has the balls to stand up and say, I'm with you. But thus far, it's been years. And, I would have really expected somebody like Howard Stern, somebody like Ellen, somebody who calls themselves a courageous voice and leader for their followers. I would have expected them to pick up on this story and get behind it and see that this is a true underdog story of a guy who's been wronged in his life
Majorly, majorly wronged. My
and
God.
continues to be abused by the system and abused by all of it. I mean, what they're doing to my IMDb page right now, they're trying to massacre my film and massacre the image and the memory of it. They're stealing it, they're whoring it out, they're prostituting it. It's disgusting. It's all disgusting. So, you know, there's got to be one real journalist out there, like a real journalist, like a real publication. There's got to be somebody out there who's credible that actually can follow this story and investigate this and bring it to justice, bring it to light. These are incredible crimes that are taking place,
Yeah,
and nobody's
somebody's.
doing anything. You're disappointed with Alyssa Milano? Imagine
Yeah,
how I
you
feel.
think? My God.
Imagine how I
She
feel.
should have been the first person to support him. It's beyond pathetic.
Well, she said it, I didn't, but there you have it.
Woman to woman, I'm serious. If you're someone that's standing up for women's rights, that's the same thing as standing up for children's rights. You should be on it. It's one and the same. Like, you're dealing with two individuals, like sub-individuals in society, that are both facing oppression and resistance because of this. Like the Me Too movement, there should be a children's rights movement. There's a women's rights movement.
She should have been interviewed in the movie, and she should have been at the premiere.
Yeah.
But I can list a long list of names of people that fall into that category.
Yeah, that's true. It's not just her, it's other people as well. And it's like, well, what's going to give her the confidence to come forward is seeing other people come forward
Yeah,
as
but
well.
she's married to some big agent in CAA or something like that. So.
Well, there you go. And this is what happens. Seriously. It's like
Courtney for
everybody's
president. She's Canadian. I don't think it would work, but you could have me instead, and she could be my vice.
Yes.
Something like that.
Well,
She's always my worst vice anyway. I mean, my best vice.
Well, he puts up with me, so.
Courtney for governor. There you go. You could be governor. Arnold did it. You could do it too.
I'll take that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Who said that? Let's see. Mike M. Word, 78. He says, I think it's awesome. It's God's plan to have you around during these times. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope it's his plan, because otherwise I might not be around much longer. But we're going to see what happens, I suppose. Let's take some requests. Let's go over to the request line. We've got Daniel Elizabeth, who's trying to jump on. We can see what updates Danielle has for us. There's Cherie. See, let's see. We'll go with Daniel first. Danielle, sorry.
Oh,
hello.
almost there. Almost there.
Hi.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Guys, and just say I agree with Courtney very, very much. It's so nice to see you on, sweetheart.
Oh, thank you, dear.
You're welcome. I mean, I was gonna say you said everything that a lot of us are thinking, and I can only imagine how you feel not having that support when she should have been there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Corey's known these people for years and years, and he's reached out to some of them, and they've kind of like wanted to support him, but then all of a sudden they backed out the last minute, and it's just like.
Some of them showed up at the premiere, quietly after the press was gone, things like that. But
Yeah.
But none of them would be interviewed for the film. None of them have spoken publicly.
But Jameson did.
Yes,
and Jameson's been there for Corey this whole time.
That's right.
So y'all can stop talking shit, because he's been a good friend to Corey, and I've seen it. He shows up for him, and he showed up for him in the film. So I don't want to hear it.
Right.
That's not to you, Danielle, by the way. It's just,
No.
Honey, why are you acknowledging those lies?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
You don't need to say it. It goes without saying.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I'm sorry.
Anything that these people say, it does not. And let me just say this to all of you, because I know there's people out there like Sean Astin is my friend too. Sean, listen, let me tell you what happened with Sean, okay? First of all, Sean and I will always love each other, and we've chatted. He wasn't at the premiere because he was, I guess, shooting, is what he told me. But he'd already seen the movie. So just so you know, he hasn't seen the finished movie, or I don't know, he might have by now, but he had seen an early cut of it because I played it for him in key, because I wanted their opinions. And actually, Sean gave me some great advice on, ideas and things, around the movie. So I just wanted to say that about Sean, is that, he had seen the movie, so it's not like he wasn't supporting, but also at the same time, Sean came out and vocally supported me, and he became a target from the Wolfpack. So as soon as he did something to support me, they went out and started making false accusations against him. and false allegations and accusations, and that's what they do. And they started attacking his fan base. Like, these people are relentless and they're disgusting,
Yes,
and
I
they
know.
attack
It's
anybody
ridiculous.
that comes to support me, anybody that vocally supports me, and that's why they keep people afraid of supporting me, because nobody wants to have their names tarnished, nobody wants to have their careers ruined. But the thing is that if we all found the strength within ourselves to just say enough is enough, because our children are more important, then guess what? Good would win over evil, and we would overpower them.
Yeah, just like the Me Too girls, they all banded together to destroy Harvey Weinstein. And that's how it was able to happen,
Right.
because they all collectively worked together.
It wasn't Rosanna Arquette by herself. It wasn't. God, there's so many of them.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yes.
The list is endless. But Ashley Judd. It wasn't Ashley Judd. It wasn't. It wasn't any of them one on one. It was 100 women, all at the same time, finding the courage and the strength to come forward about
Yeah.
their experiences. And obviously, there was the initial list, and then there was all the others that started coming forward once they saw the initial list, which is what would happen in my situation. If other people would come forward about Alfie, for example,
Yes,
do you know how many
exactly.
victims Alfie's got out there? Do you know how many kids are victims of Alfie's? And yet, not one of them is speaking up right now. And they may be watching this right now. If they're not watching it right now, they're going to watch the recast, because they
Yeah.
all follow me and they come up to me and they tell me things like, "Thank you for what you're doing, man. We appreciate you."
I was going to jump in for a second. I've been following the Me Too girls for a long time, and there's certain main ones, and then there's certain ones, like you said, that kind of jumped on. And I'm not saying that they were not abused and what things, but I almost feel like kind of like the hashtag has kind of become, I don't know, it's just kind of like a hashtag, but there's no umph behind it. And Marcy Hamilton actually put out a great article about this, and I agree with it, that there needs to be action behind just a hashtag, basically.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
And that's
right.
what it became. It became a publicity campaign and a reason for them to go to the award shows and dress in black and all pat each other on the back and say, "Oh, good job." But I wasn't invited to that award show. And when we talk about the changes that are being made by the SAG bylaws, the kids aren't being addressed. The laws aren't being changed to support the children. They're being changed to support women and sex scenes and things like that, which is all important stuff. But
Right.
there's nothing more important than our children, and that is what continues to be overlooked and ignored.
Yeah. And I was also going to say earlier, because I know you mentioned Sean and Jameson, people in the comments, I hope you people are listening loud and effing clear. They were children. They were children when they were in this industry. Corey
Mm-hmm.
himself, we don't have to talk about it. He was 3 years old when he first started. You guys have to keep that in mind, that they were children, literally put into an industry that took advantage of them, expected them to be a certain way, and chew them up and spit them the fuck out. Sorry. It pisses me off when I see these comments online that people don't understand what that's all about.
But
And you
Danielle, you buy into. Listen, let me explain something to you very clearly.
Mhm.
Okay, just so you understand, because I know you've been through this for a long time and I know you've gotten a lot of abuse, but you also have to understand that 90% of the comments that you see online that are negative all come from the same source. It all comes from the same source. It's these Wolfpack people that go into every thread that my name is mentioned in, that the movie's mentioned in. They go into every single, literally every conversation, everything that I post, and every comment on every post.
and I'm
And
not just talking about those people, Corey. I'm talking about the whole.
but what I'm telling you is that you think that it's normal people, but it's not normal people. I mean,
Right.
unless it's actual friends of yours that you're arguing with. But
No.
from my experience, every person that I meet, and I mean every person that I meet, when we go out in public or we go anywhere, people come up to me everywhere and say, "Thank you for what you're doing. God bless you for what you're doing. This
Yeah,
is
for real.
awesome.
This is good for
Congratulations."
people to hear.
Like, you got to realize the reality of it. And the reality of it is that people all over the world are motivated by this and think it's incredible and they love it. And so you can't be looking at the microcosm of the social media life, which is only 175,000 or 185,000 people. And out of those 185,000 people, how many of them are actually writing the positive comments, which is a small group of you guys that are here all the time. And then there's like, scattered once in a while, you see comments from other people. And then you've got the negative stuff, which always leads back to the same group of people, whether it's those specific people or the people that they've recently indoctrinated into believing I'm Dr. Evil. But the point is that, whatever it is, it's an offshoot of what they're doing, and it's only online. It's not reality. So
Okay.
I just, I want to kind of pull you out of that for a minute so you understand the scope of it, because, you know,
And thank
what
you
we're
for
what we're
pulling me out, because I guess when you're online and you see, not even just because of Twitter, but I mean like articles and whatnot. Like I guess you have to have that kind of pull back to see from different angles.
Exactly. So the thing is, being me, being Courtney, we travel all over the world and we
Right.
meet fans all over the globe. And the thing that's great about it is that, you everywhere you go, people come up to you, and the first thing that comes out of everybody's mouth is, hey man, I really support what you're doing. Hey, this is awesome work. Thank you for doing this. You've given me the courage to do this, or you've given me the courage to do that. So I mean, you got to realize that's the heartbeat of America. That's the heartbeat of the world, is real people who don't follow this day-to-day stuff. They just see the big messages. And the big messages are, we stood up against evil and we're fighting the good fight. That's the message,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So don't let them discourage you.
No, and thank God for all those people that are out there in out there that come up to you guys and whatnot.
In the
Exactly.
flesh. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because if we didn't see the reality of it and we believed that the microcosm of the social media cult was the reality of, the thought process of mainstream society, we would have quit a long time ago, you know.
Mhm. Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, all right. Well, we're gonna try and get some other callers on, but great talking to you as always,
Yes.
dearest.
And finish a conversation with Jean. I know she started last night and she was cut off.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen her on here tonight, but if we see her, then I'll let you know. Maybe we can talk to Heather. And by the way, that's right. Anybody who buys a ticket, I know it's probably a lot of you that have already seen it, but if you haven't seen the movie yet, happy 22nd. Today's the day to buy a ticket because there's only 10 days left. So go to mytruthdoc.com, and if you buy a ticket while we're on live, I will give you a shout out. All right. Talk to you soon. Take care of yourself, honey. Okay, let's see who's here. Chandler. I don't know who that is. Well, I don't think we can go trusting people that we haven't met yet. Not right off the bat.
The numbers keep going down. I think, the video is messing up again for
Oh, that's all
whatever.
right. Don't pay attention to that because
FYI, I
it's
got a
always
refund
moving.
for no reason. I watched the film. Wow.
Really? Well, thank you for being honest and telling us that, to Michael Fortuna. Thank you. We appreciate it. Could you do
Take a
me a favor?
screenshot of that
Yeah, well,
right now.
yeah, that's a good one. Hold
Yep.
on. Okay, could you do us a favor though? Could you send that in an email to Heather? That would be great, Michael.
Yeah,
And
thank
then
you, Michael.
also, yeah, I mean, obviously, we'd appreciate it if you went ahead and just repurchased the ticket, since I don't know if we can actually get the company that processes the funding to do anything about it anyway, but it would be good to know if there's a glitch. So, or if there's other people that have experienced that, it would be great if they were honest with us and told us that as well, because we really didn't have that many refunds. We've been pretty grateful for that. But that said, If that was our biggest worry was the amount of refunds, we would be in great shape right now. We'd be like golden, because the truth of the matter is, um, out of all the tickets we sold, which wasn't many so far, to be honest, but there's only been less than 2% of returns, which means most of you were awesome and respectful and waited until your time that you could watch the movie and
Totally,
didn't freak
yes.
out. So we love you guys and we appreciate you guys so much for bearing with us through all of that madness and making it through it, and doing the right thing and not trying to get refunds and not trying to get returns, but sticking it out, because that's what loyal, giving, caring fans do. And that's what honest, giving, awesome people do. So that's why we love you guys and that's why we appreciate you.
Yes,
That
most
said,
definitely.
as far as the other 4 million people who watched it for free, don't know what to say about that. But thank you, Cherie Laverne, for buying 3. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to look and see if Heather
Wait,
is
what did
on.
they say?
Hold on.
Wait.
Wait, no. I'm going. We've been trying to get this person added for a while, so we're going to try and add you now. Antonia, I know you wanted to come on the other night, and we didn't get you on. So let's see if we can get you on now. All right. Is it working better tonight?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, there you are.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, how are you guys?
Well, we're
Good.
good.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm good.
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Nice.
All right. We did a big show in Pittsburgh at the Hard Rock.
I wasn't able to see that, but I did meet you both last year at the Still City Con, so that was nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that was good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's cool. So, how's it going? Are you doing all right with the COVID?
So far, yeah. So far,
So far, so good.
yeah.
That's good. That's good. What do you do?
Um, I am a forensic psychologist as of right now, but I do want to change, so I'm
Oh,
trying to find
wow.
different, to help out people.
That's
And it's
nice.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be a really tough job.
it is. It is. It's
Emotionally draining, rather.
Yeah.
absolute. It is.
Well, you never know. Maybe this might be the positive change you needed.
Yes.
So
I just
we've seen you on a lot lately. What were you gonna say?
I just have to say that I uh appreciate you both so much, and I'm sorry I'm just really anxious, but I was
Oh,
um
Oh,
abused for about 19 years off and
wow.
on, and
wow.
Jeez.
documentary just really helped me more than any therapist ever has. And I'm
Oh,
just really
God bless you.
Oh, that's good to
thankful.
hear.
Thank you both.
Oh, that's really sweet of you to say. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We appreciate that. I just wish more people could see it that need to see it. The problem
Yes.
is when you give out views and you cheapen it, then people don't even take it seriously. They talk through it, they watch it with their friends, whatever. It's just something that's like a grab. You know what I mean? Like they got it for free, so they
Uh,
don't care. And that's the problem, is the people that are needing to see it don't get to see it. The people that
right,
it's supposed to get to, the intended audience, because they're not hearing all the amazing things about it. They're not hearing the word of mouth like you would in a real movie. You're not getting the
Mm,
positive reviews around the world, because everybody that tries to post their reviews gets buried. You can't see the positive reviews. They bury all the positive reviews. I mean, it's just tragic what they're getting away with.
it is.
And they're doing it right out in the open. You know what I mean? Like everybody can see it. You can see it, right? You're a fan that we've never met before. I mean, we met you briefly, but like not online. We haven't had a long conversation with you. It's not like you've heard all of our stories or something, and you know what we're talking about other than seeing it for yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. People see it for themselves, and yet the press isn't talking about it. The media
No.
isn't talking about it. Don't you think it's funny how, like, right before the movie came out, they were like everything that I did, like literally everything I did. I couldn't go to the bathroom without it being in the press. And
Right.
now, as soon as the movie came out, it's just like crickets. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody's talking about anything.
It's sad and it's heartbreaking and insulting to everyone who's experienced that they're not doing something more and trying to help.
It's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You hit the nail on the
disgusting.
head, that's for sure.
I mean, we thought for sure somebody would have come forward by now. Somebody would have said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to get behind this. I'm going to stand up for what's right because this guy's given everything for this cause and he deserves a break. Somebody's got to help him. Somebody's got to help him help the kids." And there's nothing. You know, it's shocking. It's just shocking.
It is.
But you know what, Antonia? You know what's great?
Did you hear?
I don't know. I said, do you know what's great, Antonia?
What?
Is your birthday is 2/22, and that's
It is.
awesome.
It is.
So gotta love that.
That's really
See, I've
cool.
always got my lucky 22 on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been a
And
for
what?
years, and I think I found out maybe last year that Corey Haim's number was 222, and that yours was 22, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and 222 is your lucky number?
yes,
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of like Ricky Garcia, you know. We have Ricky Garcia join us for the movie. And he really didn't know anything about the two Corys or our story other than like he just saw that I was standing up for this and he knew my work as an actor, but he didn't really know anything about the backstory or whatever. And he like tells us in the middle of his interview that his lucky number is 222. And we're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, my lucky number is 222. And I'm like, wow, dude. That's because, like, there's a lot of parallels between him and Haim. I don't know why, but there's just like a lot of, like, you know, he's a young, good looking guy and his blue eyes and just like the way he would describe things. And like it would just remind me of Corey sometimes. And it was like tripping me out. But anyway, then he said 222. And I was like, whoa. But yeah,
that's
it's a
awesome.
cool thing. Yeah, it's a cool thing. So anyway, well, I'm glad we finally got to talk to you.
Me
Yes.
too. Thank you
Yes,
both so
and
much.
absolutely, and I'm sure we'll be able to talk again soon.
I
Mm-hmm.
hope so.
Yep, and hopefully maybe in person even one day if coronavirus ever goes away and we can all resume our normal life activities.
Yes.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, exactly. All right, honey. Well, you have a great Memorial Day and stay
Thank,
safe out there. All right?
thank you. Love you
Okay.
guys. Bye bye.
God bless.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Love you too, dear.
Bye.
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 Okay, that was Antonia.
Oh,
Oh, there's Heather.
I think we're filming
Wait,
our new deer.
we gotta get Heather. Oh, that's all right. Let's see, done there, and then we gotta flip that around. That's all right. Did you like that knee?
Hello.
Hello, Heather.
Hey, Corey. Hey, Courtney. How are y'all?
Hi, Heather.
Woo! How's it
I
going?
can't
Well,
believe I'm actually on with you.
I know. I can't believe it either. It's a miracle.
I know. Hallelujah. I believe.
We've been trying to make this happen forever.
I know. I know my internet's kind of bad here. But I'm so glad to get on. Oh my gosh, I have so much to say. I don't even know where to start. So I guess
Look
I'll
at
let you.
look at your fan base blowing up. Everybody's like, Heather. Ah!
God, hey, I love y'all so much. Oh my God. This
Doesn't she
has
sound
been.
like she sounds like a cute little chipmunk or a squirrel or something, doesn't she?
You
Oh
know,
my
I will
goodness.
say this. When I saw you, and I'm going to get emotional, so just everybody know this. I saw your article come out today, and when it did, it was really emotional because
Mm,
this journey has been a long one for you, and I've seen so many things that most people have not been able to see that you've endured, and you are still standing strong. And I've watched so much happen at, at the beginning of all this. I tried to get to the premiere. I wasn't able to. I watched as they took your whole entire stream down, and there's nothing that I could do. And I couldn't even talk. And I was on trying to communicate with the streaming service as they took it down. Not only did they take it down, but then they copied your website. They sold tickets that should have been yours. And then not only did they stole it, they put it on YouTube, and YouTube allowed them to illegally stream it as you were trying to get yours back up. YouTube has prevented so much. Now we have Wiki we're dealing with, and now IMDb, and all these people just will not stop. And to watch you fight and fight and fight, if everyone could see the wonderful, kind, loving person you are and the pain that you've endured, they would understand and back off and stop, because you're only trying to be a voice and you're trying to help everybody, and you've helped me. I've always been here with you by your side, and I will always stand by you. And I wish everyone could just stop and think how it would feel if someone would spend day in and day out constantly poking and targeting them where they can't live their everyday life and live a normal life while trying to help victims all over the world. And you're a voice for everybody. And no one can possibly understand until it happens to them. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
I'm
thank you,
sorry.
honey. Listen, oh no, God bless you. You're such a sweetheart. That's why we love you. You're such a sweet person. And you're right. Unfortunately, you know, there you would like to think that everybody would stop and realize, these people are good people and they're doing everything they can and they're fighting the good fight and they deserve a break or they deserve our support or they deserve our empathy. But unfortunately, what I've realized is that there's really not enough people out there that care. There's our group here, there's the Feld fam, there's the supporters that follow everything and that support us. And like I said, there's 40,000 people who bought tickets. You know, that's a good group of people. That's a lot of love. But beyond that, I don't know.
Well, I will
Very
say
sad.
that
It's very
they took
sad.
they took your moment away from you, Corey. You get one shot before anyone gets a chance to see the film. They stole that from you.
I
They
know.
hacked the site and they took that down. And that's not fair. That is so not fair, because that was something you've worked real hard on. You put your heart and soul into it. And you shared was so hard to share in life what you go through. And then to put yourself on display like that is very, very hard. And then to have someone come and just tear that down, that's so, it's so horrible. And, I love and support you. And there's a lot of people out there all over the world that are not even aware that you have a documentary. And they're just now finding out. And so there
Well, I
is a
know,
lot.
but see, that's the problem, Heather, is that, like, we didn't have a giant budget. If we were a studio or if we had a network behind us, or if we had Netflix behind us, or if we had anything like that, then we could have put, millions of dollars into advertising and then everybody in the world would know about it. And then we would have, millions and millions and millions of people watching it, which is what the intention would be. But instead, what happened was we did the best we could with our little amount of money, with our little voice that we have, with our little network of friends and our little network of followers. And we put it out there the best way that we could, and it built momentum the right way. And we got everybody talking about it. And we had all the press following on, and all the major news magazines and all the major news websites and all the major news shows were all talking about it, all the talk shows, everybody. It was everywhere. And then all of a sudden, when the movie came out and we were attacked, it was like everybody got like a secret cue to just abandon ship. Like literally, it was like because we were attacked, the press just completely dropped it like it was a nothing burger and
Mm-hmm.
walked away. And we've
See,
been like left alone, stranded, dealing with this apocalypse and the leftovers and the reminiscence of like the day after a nuclear bomb. And that's literally what it's been like. And it's not like a nuclear bomb where it just fades away. It's like it's got aftermath and it's got after effects that just keep tearing at you and tearing at you and tearing at you. And at this point, we're so heartbroken and we're so deflated and just defeated. And it's like, we feel like, I asked God, why? Why did you make me do this? What was the point? What was the point? Why was I called off of my tour? Why did everything in the world have to stop? Why did you save my life twice and spare me and give me all these miracles so that I could preach your word? And then I go and I preach your word and nobody wants to hear it. So what was the damn point? I mean, think about all the talk shows through the years. Think about this really carefully. All the shows through the years that sat there and went, Corey Feldman revealed, da 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 da. Corey Feldman broke the news today about pedophilia in Hollywood. Corey Feldman is going to be doing this movie. Corey Feldman's got a documentary. Is he really going to release it? Does he really going to say it? Da da da. What's he going to say? All these shows, all these magazines, all these newspaper headlines through so many years. Willy Woney, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? And then I do it and they ignore it? What the hell?
It's a
It's
fucking
like a
disgrace.
Twilight Zone episode.
See, that's wrong, and they should actually
Like,
get behind you and
like the
promote
fact
you.
that so many people stressed me out that I couldn't get through my tour because all anybody wanted me to do was drop everything and give them the names, give them the names, give them the names. And then I give the names, and what happens? Nothing, which proves my point all along. That's why I never wanted to do the documentary in the first place. That's why I never wanted to do any of this in the first place. Because it doesn't matter who you tell, because there is no justice. And that's the sick part. But guess what? One good thing has come out of this. And you know what that is? That people like you and people like Gina and people like Danielle and people like all of us together who are survivors of abuse can now stand for ourselves and say, guess what? We are able to speak our truth. And we have each other. And even if nobody gives a rat's ass, at least we know we've got that. And that's more than you had a year ago because now you can talk about it. So
Well,
there you have it.
well,
But truthfully, God cares, and you do not want to see
God bless you for being a survivor, Chandler.
these
I see
people
you.
will pay for it dearly in
these
one
people
way or
will.
another. They will.
And God does care, Corey, because God has a whole lot planned ahead for you. And you know what? These people are just in the background and they want to keep starting trouble. But you know what? We're not going to back down because, when I remember years and years ago when I met you and Courtney online, I remember it was actually the 11th to 22nd of 2015. And you said, I never give up. And Courtney's the reason I never give up and will never give up. And I messaged you and we connected that night and we will never give up fighting no matter what these people do. We have each other, we got to meet each other, and we will always stand together. I will always be right here, so no matter what anybody says, they're not going to break us, so they can keep
Thank
saying
you,
whatever they
Lisa.
want.
Thank you, Lisa, for admitting you're a survivor too. Appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you. And thank you for your words, Heather. That's very sweet, and I'm so glad we made such a positive impact in your life. That's all we've ever really wanted, is to make positive impact in other people's lives, because, well,
that's what Corey's Angels is all about.
Exactly.
Even though they'll never want it, they'll never let me admit that. They'll never let the truth be known. They want to depict it as some terrible thing. Like, oh, taking advantage of these girls. These girls had no lives or careers, which is why I helped get them off the streets and gave them purpose. That was the whole point.
Yes.
And then you give them that, and they go out there and twist the whole reality and try and make it seem like you're taking advantage of them. Please. Those girls were getting paid more than they'd ever gotten paid in their lives. Literally. It's disgusting.
What gets me is,
Of course, that stuff is still on Wiki. Do you know how many times Heather has gone on Wiki and changed it?
They block me, and I just get another account and go at it again, and they replace the same thing. Now we're having the issue with the IMDb where you can put anything and everything on there,
Imagine that.
and that's a problem because now I'm actually in movies I've never been in before, and I can easily add it. And as a movie database for the
Well,
celebrities in
don't
the
say that out
industry,
loud, because then they're just gonna block you there too.
that's okay because I have more
No, it's
accounts
not.
there.
We need you. No, we need you.
Now I'm a little fighter, Corey. I don't give up easy. I'm a little squeaky wheel. I'm here to stay.
I
So,
understand. I understand, but I'm saying we got to make it, count,
well,
right? So
that's
that's the
right.
thing. We got to make it count. So that's why, we got to get my publicist and my manager into this, and they're going to start making calls, and they're going to, do what they can on their end, because, listen, at the end of the day, this is IMDb. It runs the entire industry. The fact that they are compromised and allowing misinformation to be put into anybody's a biography of their work or resume of
Yeah,
their
what the
work
heck
is
is that?
insanity.
Sounds like a bunch
It's
of sellout
insanity.
bullshit to me.
So, bottom line is, we've got some very, very deep seated issues going on here. And everybody should be talking about this. The media should be blowing up over this. We're talking huge scandals, attempted murder. We're talking hacking. We're talking millions and millions of dollars in theft and corruption. We're talking about inside trading, inside
Mm-hmm.
sourcing at all of these huge government companies and corporations. How the hell, how the hell
Exactly.
is this
There's
being
somebody behind the
ignored?
scenes. There's somebody
Children are
behind the
being
scenes.
molested, children are being raped, and they're just ignoring it. Funny thing is, if any of these accusations were about Michael Jackson, oh my God, it would be all over the news everywhere, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would be
Yeah.
everywhere. But
But gee, nobody seems to care about Charlie Sheen. I guess I should have done it 10 years ago when he was more popular.
well, he's got a lot in his little background there, and people that are not coming forward. It makes me wonder because if everybody can control everything else and prevent, and I will say your documentary is censored, and people can disagree with me if they want. But I've been in the industry behind the scenes for a long time, and I know when something is being censored and when it's not. So I know for a fact maybe people aren't coming forward because there's hands on people that are not allowing them to come forward. So I look at
Look at
things
an
a
open
certain way.
secret. Look at an open secret.
Yep,
Children are being boxed up and drugged and being shipped in containers. Somebody says, Chandler
That's the
from
one that was trying to call
Canada.
you.
it's
Well,
very it's
I
very
believe
horrible,
it.
and I do want to touch on some things, and I'm very cautious as to what I say when I'm speaking on here. But I will say I want to address. We're talking about children. And it even goes to the point that I even contacted the FBI, and we are still waiting on a response for an email that someone sent, and I intercepted it. And I want the whoever did that, shame on you because that was very traumatic and very hard and triggering for someone that has to deal with abuse and has been a survivor. So you
Absolutely.
It's so fucked.
people are
It's
horrible to
disgusting
do
that
that.
you should have ever been sent something like that.
I
It's
pray
horrid.
God's
It was
justice comes
It,
upon
but
this
well,
not just
I
that you were
person.
sent it, that it happened in the first place. That
Holy
those
crap.
photographs exist to be sent.
God save their
It's
souls.
disgusting.
God save
It's
their
very
souls.
disgusting. And that poor child in there, it's horrible not being able to help that child.
Right?
And the thing is, I told my therapist, I told the FBI, I made sure that everyone knew that
And
I was
what's anybody
intercepting
doing
it.
about it? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. We have not
Nothing.
gotten one call back from the FBI. Nothing.
Not one.
They are
Not
they're abandoning their duties.
Yes, and they're not supposed to because depending on their district, if this is reported and they do not report it, that is actually illegal. Child pornography is illegal, and I know whoever sent it probably thought I would forward it, but I'm a lot smarter than that, and I'll make sure it never gets to Corey. So if you plan for it to be on anything of his, you're very mistaken. So you've got to get a little bit
Well,
smarter than me.
something you don't know, Heather, is that I've also been sent blackmail threats, but I haven't discussed that publicly either. But yeah, so
No,
You
that's
know,
that's horrible. These people
I don't
are
care. They can
horrible.
try to blackmail me. There's nothing that they can ever tell anybody that I'm not willing to admit. I have
You
no
know,
shame. I have done nothing that I have to be ashamed of, and I have nothing that is in my history that's morally oppressive or wrong. So
well,
whatever.
they try to find something, but they need to realize, you know what? They keep recycling the same stuff. We've heard it already. Pack
Well,
your
yeah.
stuff up
First
and
of all,
go away.
do you think I would have done this if I had anything to fear? As
No.
far as that goes, of course not. Because I already know what they're going to say about me. Already know that they're going to try to call me a drug addict. I already know that they're going to try and call me a pimp. They're going to try and call me whatever. That's what they do. And
Well,
I don't care. They can say that I smoke crack. They can say that I have orgies. They can say that I prostitute women. They can say whatever the hell they want to say about me. But at the end of the day, they could never prove it because it's not true. And if something's not true, they can go all day long and it won't phase me. Because you know why? Because I have a clean conscience. And that's why I chose to go forward. That's why I agreed to do this in the first place. Let me know what can we do. I saw and reported so many illegal copyright infringements. Yes, trust me, we all have. But unfortunately, that doesn't go anywhere, Cherie. It only goes somewhere if there's a federal investigation. And since the federal investigators seem to be a little preoccupied with COVID and every other case in the world, they don't have time for ours.
You inspired me to charge my abuser. I will stand with you always. That's
God
amazing.
bless you.
Congrats.
Who's
you
that?
know, I
Biggest
Vamp.
fan.
actually,
Biggest vamp. I hope that's true. I hope that you get justice. I really do. God bless you.
I hope everybody's able to get justice. You know what, Corey? I never spoke about my abuse. When I saw it happen to you, then I came forward and thought, you know what? I can't believe it happened to Corey. And then I started talking about mine, and it opens it up, and it's hard. It's very hard. I have people that reach out to me that go through the same things. But you know what, Corey? Your voice. Everybody says that, you know what? Corey helped them talk about it. You are a huge voice, and see, you don't see it because you're you, but everybody else looks up to you, and like he set the precedence for all of us to come forward, and we can talk about it
You
when
know what
we're
else
when
I
we're
set the
watching.
precedence for?
Yes,
There's
so
an
true.
article today in
Absolutely.
Movie Web. We should talk about.
Yes, we should talk
I
about
got
that
sent this
too.
in my email, and you know what it said? It said that they've just taken a poll, and 77% of America has decided that they would prefer to watch their first run movies in the comfort of their home as opposed to in theaters. And they said, so it seems like the new wave of the future will be digitally premiering online streaming movies from studios as first run features, which right before the virus outbreak had never happened, but now is going to be the new norm. Well, wonder where they got that idea.
They got it from you. You're the first one that streamed it.
But
You're
you
the
know how
first
much
one
they're
that did a live
charging?
stream.
You know how much they're charging? 19.99. So I
Oh,
so
isn't
I
that
came up with the
interesting?
idea. You were there when I came up with it,
I was. I
and
was
I
right
said
there.
$20. Let's say $20 is fair, right? So we
Yep.
made it $20 to digitally stream a brand new movie which had never been heard of or done before in my industry. Okay? They shut my movie down, they stole my idea, and they stole my profits. That's what happened to me.
Yeah, and they've been doing this to him for years.
Yeah,
By the
stealing
way,
stealing my ideas, stealing my songs, stealing all kinds of things, show ideas, script
for
ideas.
years.
Courtney knows because she's
Yeah,
seen
I've
things
seen
that
it
I go out
so
and I
many
pitch,
times.
and then all of a sudden they say no, we're not interested in that right now, and then 2 years later that show ends up on a network. But that's just how they roll.
Cuz he's that talented. He's that fucking talented.
Thanks, babe.
He
Yeah,
is
it's
very,
true.
very talented. And you know what? I remember when we started talking about it and looking for streaming services, and we found one, went with it. And you know what, Corey? You put you laid it out. You laid the work for everybody to come and follow. And people will say, no, no. But you know what? You broke records. You broke records with this company, everything. I mean, it's awesome what you
Mhm.
did. And you know what? Most people have to have a huge distribution service, but you didn't. You did it. You did it. You actually, I mean, right after you did this, then there was another movie. I won't know the name of it, but it came forward and started following your footsteps. No one has ever done this before you. So if
Well,
somebody says
Trolls
it,
did
they're
it. Trolls
incorrect.
did it. Universal did it with Trolls right after
Oh,
we
I
did it.
hate it. Yeah, I was gonna say trolls,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, we all know what trolls are, don't we? We
Well,
have them
isn't
on the
that? But
Right.
don't we find that
Isn't it
ironic
so
that
I
fitting?
do.
my movie was The Truth. My movie, My Truth, was the last film to premiere in Hollywood at the Directors Guild, and it also happened to come out the last week that there was a box office for Hollywood. So I did predict that my movie would shut down Hollywood. And in essence, it did happen. And
It
not
did.
only that, but then I decided that if there was a way to release movies, and I said this when I was doing interviews, I said, this will pioneer a new way for Hollywood to release films. I said, from this point on, just watch what happens. This is going to be a new normal. Like, once people see that this works, that you don't have to wait, this is a way for all independent filmmakers to be rebellious, to get around the system. And if they're smart about it, then they can follow in my footsteps. And this is a way that any filmmaker, any artist can get their work seen. I said all of that. And what happened?
You did it. You got it, and now everybody's following. You got it. You put it
But do you
out
think
there,
they'll
and
ever give
now,
me credit for it?
Yeah, they're
of
not going to
course,
give
they're
them
not going to
credit
give
for
you
it. They're just
credit.
going to take the credit for themselves because that's what they do, even though they didn't really come up with it because they're not
Well, I
that
know
smart.
Corey came up with it. So, you little naysayers out there, guess what? I got you. I'm one up on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We got it first. Corey
Yeah,
did it
call it
first.
out. For
Hey,
anybody trying to take credit for it, call that shit out.
I will call it out. I love calling things out. I love putting proof out there too.
I love you guys. I love you guys. All right. Well, we should get going.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I talk so much, Corey. You
No,
know,
we love you. Stop
Yeah,
it.
we love you,
You're
Heather.
love and light to everybody that listens to you. You know
Yeah.
that.
I
That's
love
why we love
y'all.
having you on.
Oh, I want to say one thing before I leave. Hey, everybody, if you'll go to mytruthdoc.com and buy a ticket, that would be awesome. It is
Oh
streaming
yeah,
live
by the
until
way,
June the 1st.
Yes.
Rigo bought a ticket while we were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you, so thank you to Rigo for buying a ticket. God bless you. And we saw you. We saw you. But anyway, God bless you, honey. We love you, and you be safe, and you have a safe Memorial Day. And thank you for everything you do. We love you.
We love you,
Oh,
Heather.
thank you. I love y'all too. And y'all have a safe Memorial Day. Thanks for getting me on. I'm sorry if I said anything wrong, but I just had a lot. I still got a lot to say, but I will go. I will talk to y'all later.
You didn't say anything wrong, Heather. You
No.
never say anything wrong. God bless you.
Bye, Heather.
God bless you. Love y'all.
Love
Love
you too,
you.
honey.
Bye. Okay. So I'm getting tired, but we'll take one more. We'll take one more.
This one.
Courtney wants to talk to this Canadian friend, so let's see who this is. Chandler. Courtney wants to talk to this Canadian friend, so let's see who this is. Chandler.
Who is this?
Hello.
Hi, you're playing
Hi.
back. You're playing back your Twitter live too loud, so we can hear our
Okay.
feedback.
Hang on. Hang on. I gotta.
Okay.
Okay. Is that better?
There you go. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. And
That's good.
my name is actually Connie.
Oh, hi, Connie.
Hi, Connie.
I have a strange name on Twitter because people that have been abused, we try to hide, right? So we're not victimized over.
Yes, I understand. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Chandler, we lost you.
Uh-oh.
I don't think she hung up. I think that was a miscommunication in the lines. Uh-oh. Well, let's see. We can try to get her back.
I think she's gonna try again.
Here we go. Let's see. Nope, can't get her on. She's got to send another request. So, what'd you say her name was?
Connie?
Connie, right? Connie, we lost you.
Yeah, Connie, we need you to send another request if you want to be on. Otherwise, we'll have to take somebody else. So try and send it through as soon as you can.
Oh, Connie. There you are.
There we go.
All right, let's try this one more time. Hi, Connie. You're on live. Oh, my
And-
stars. Oh, don't you know?
I love
It could be my internet, because I live in the bush, and I'm so sorry if I got
Oh,
disconnected.
that's right. They leave
Aw.
those routers up there on top of the moose, eh?
Oh, they do, eh?
Don't you know?
And the moose hang out with the beaver, eh?
Hey, they sure
Oh,
do,
yeah.
eh? And then they all
Oh
sit
yeah.
down and have
Oh
a
yeah,
nice
man.
cold one. They have
Yeah,
a
brewski.
nice cold brewski.
Yeah, the snow and the ice just melted off the top of my igloo yesterday.
Perfect.
Anyways, I just
Yes.
wanted to, I can't even explain seriously how proud Canada is. Canada. Your video, when it aired, went viral around Canada.
Well, I'm sure
And
it
of
did.
course, and
But
then you got hacked and all
yeah.
that boop.
Well,
I'm not.
unfortunately, it went viral for free, and everybody watched it for free. That's
No,
the
I
problem.
paid.
Well, I don't mean you. I mean the people that saw it. You know, a lot of
Yeah,
people unfortunately saw it
you're
because
absolutely right. There was a
it was
bunch of
passed
people
around
that
for
pirated
free.
at 1000%. You impacted not only the USA, you impacted the globe. And I can tell you firsthand, I was abused from the time I was 7 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you were too.
Mm.
But because you have done what you've done, you've woken up a nation. People didn't believe your story. Even your best friend's mom had a hard time with this, even though she knows the truth. And I'm not going to bring up stuff. I'm just, she has to sleep with her demons at night too.
Yeah.
You woke up a nation and gave everyone strength and a backbone. And I know you don't know me and you're afraid to take my call, but I'm just saying that you gave me a voice. And you have given so many people across this globe power. And there is strength in numbers. And when no one knows unless you've lived in those shoes, what you go through in the heat of that moment and how scared you are and how scared you are to tell because of how the grooming goes. And I was groomed prior. This is going to sound really horrible, and I hope it doesn't sound horrible to anyone that's listening. My abuser ended up being a drug user. He was a family friend, and it was a man. Well, at the time, he was 16 and I was 7.
Mm.
And I'm 57 years old now, so I grew up with you, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I grew up watching you, listening to you. Anyways, he ended up at a crappy end of the city, fell down a flight of stairs all messed up, and ended up being a quadriplegic.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Well, he still was not my friend, but I grew up with this family friend. And when I got the call from the rest of the family that he had fallen, I cheered. I was so happy. I know that
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, I can't blame you. Fuck.
And I felt bad about saying that later because the family members that told me, I felt bad later that I said that. I should have kept it to myself, but I couldn't. I was so excited.
Oh.
Scott's
He
justice in a way.
Listen, I wish I could
he
say the same. Trust me.
he he passed away about 3 months ago, all
Well,
alone in a room by himself in his quadriplegic chair. And when I got the call that he was gone, it he's gonna have to meet his maker, just like we all are.
Mhm.
I wasn't his only victim. Two of his sisters were his victims. A
oh my
cousin of mine.
God.
Oh no, this goes deep, deep, deep. So and I know I'm calling from Canada, but I'm just gonna say that when your story, when you put that video up, Corey, you don't even know what you've done to this globe. And I'm gonna try really hard not to cry because you gave us all a voice. You gave us a
God
voice
bless
that
you.
says it's okay. You're okay. And I don't want to get too personal. And you can answer or not. I don't care. But I know as a 57-year-old woman now, it's been 50 years for me that I've lived with this.
Yeah.
My sex life for the rest of my entire life was really challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine, like, you have to be with someone extraordinarily special to
Mm-hmm.
understand what you've been through. And I've just recently, within the last 4 years, found that person.
Oh,
And
God
Corey, I'm
bless.
Oh,
so glad that you did too. Courtney, you're so beautiful.
thank you. Thank you so much. Your words just
I know
hold
that you
so
didn't want to
much.
take this call because you were afraid that I'm
Yeah,
alone.
no, it's
And I
what you
promise
have
you,
to
I'm
say
not.
is what you have to
I'm,
say is beautiful, and it's very, very powerful and very important, and important for me to hear. You brought tears to my eyes, but
you brought
I'm
tears to
sorry for
my
what you've
eyes.
been through. I'm sorry for what you've been through. First of all,
Sorry for what you've been through too.
oh, it's tragic. It's tragic.
It is. And I'm so happy that you're waking up this nation. And no matter what everybody thinks about Donald Trump, I wish that he was my president because he's cleaning it up.
Well, we don't want to go into that right now, but you can't believe everything that you hear.
Well, anyways, okay, we won't talk
Yeah,
politics.
that's
That's
a whole
totally
other
fine.
story. See, you got it's not politics. The problem is, Connie, that you got to realize I'm the national ambassador for Child USA. So I know what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to the world of pedophilia. And I know where things stand with who's getting locked up, who's going to trial, all that
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
yeah.
And there's nothing going on behind the scenes. I wish to God that was true. But that is a rumor that's been started as part of propaganda, as part of his reelection campaign. Okay? And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can do your own research. But there's a reason
Oh,
why.
I've done
There's a
a
reason why
lot.
my truth took a million point three just to get insured, because the information that we were putting forth was corroborated by multiple eyewitnesses. And
What?
that's the difference between a real documentary and propaganda, where you can go and like say, all of this stuff without having to back it up. And that's all I have to say. So there's a
Okay.
lot of fake documentaries out there, but
Yeah.
something's real when you see eyewitness corroboration. That
Yeah.
is key. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I live in Canada and our leader is just epic. And if
Yeah.
you've done any digging
Yes.
into that and where his family tree goes, you already know a lot about Canada just by that.
All right, so are you in support of your prime minister or not in support of your
Absolutely not. He has
Oh, I
sold
see.
us out.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, I'm not in your country, so I'll reserve judgment. I don't know much about his politics, but I do know there's a lot of people that seem to be disgruntled by him.
My own family is the same thing, and
But all I
Yep.
can tell you is that you should feel grateful.
he's not locking children up in cages.
I'm
Yeah,
grateful. Well, don't be so
That's
sure
just,
about that
where
because
is the
there's
evidence?
there's a lot of people in Canada that are drinking adrenochrome every day.
no, okay, now where are you hearing this stuff?
Um, well, I'll talk to you about it off, but I won't.
Okay, okay, fair
and
enough, fair
and
enough.
you know,
But listen
no
again,
disrespect in any regard whatsoever. It's just these are the things we have to hear every day. Like we hear
because here's
about
the
this.
problem: you're hearing this stuff, and luckily you're hearing our stuff too, which is great. But a lot of
I
people
am.
aren't. A lot of people aren't. They're only hearing this gossip stuff, and there's no evidence to back this up. There's no evidence. None. Zero. There's no photographic evidence. There's no eyewitness firsthand accounts.
There's no articles being written.
Like, this is all rumors. Okay? And that's where it gets dangerous. So that's all I'm saying. Like, you have to have evidence and facts to back these things up. So when people start throwing this name under the bus and that name under the bus, anybody can throw out a list of celebrity names and
Oh,
say,
for
oh,
sure.
these are all the people that are the pedos. These are all the satanic elite. Anybody can
But
do
it's
that.
just like you, right, Corey? Is there evidence? Is there pictures?
Yes. No, there's eyewitness accounts.
Well,
Right.
and that's where I'm going. There's eyewitness accounts in
Eyewitness
Canada.
accounts about what?
There's
Like,
eyewitness accounts that certain people have been involved with pedophilia.
okay, but those people, I'm talking eyewitness accounts like a person who was actually raped is on camera saying I was raped by these people, or a person that person confessed in and
Just
said this
before
person was raped by this person. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about first-hand recollections,
just
not
before just before the election,
okay.
our last election, a lady came forward. Pardon me, she was a young girl who came forward and accused our prime minister of misconduct. Let me just put it
Okay.
that way.
All right.
She was paid $2.5 million and signed a non disclosure agreement just prior to the election. And it just came out in the last 2 weeks, all about this.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen those reports, but I'd be very
She was
interested to
paid
see it.
2.5 million from who?
The prime minister.
The current one?
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's saying that Justin
Yeah.
Trudeau is. She's alleging that Justin Trudeau paid 2.5
It's
million to
common.
silence
It's
someone.
it's very easy to find.
Okay, well, easy to find doesn't make it true. That's what we're trying
Oh
to
no,
get to here. There's a
that's
lot of
true.
things that are easy to
That's true.
find, but you know what's hard to find? My truth. It's hard to find because they won't let you find it because they've rigged Google and they've
Yeah,
rigged Wiki and they've rigged IMDb. That's how powerful these people are. So as
absolutely.
much as they can hide my truth, they can also spread mis and disinformation. That
Absolutely.
is what I'm trying to make people
I
aware of.
agree.
That
And
is
I'm
what I'm
not,
trying
So
to raise the
no,
consciousness
I
about.
totally agree.
Okay, so
1000%.
what I'm trying to say to you, and I want you to be very understanding here, is that we have a president who has 30 women making accusations about him. 30 women. And yet we're hearing about one accuser for Biden and one accuser for your prime minister that are being made into major plot points to where they're drinking children's blood, but yet the 30 women that accused our president are not valid. They're not being investigated. They've been paid off, but that doesn't matter. Like, I gotta just go, what the hell? Right? How can one guy be a hero that's saving everybody, but he's got 30 accusers, but then the other guys who are not being, promoted as Superman or whatever, have got one accuser, but that's being blown up. So you've got to look at both sides of it. That's all I'm saying.
I truly do. And you know what? I grew up as a liberal. I truly did.
Yeah. Well,
And
but see, this isn't about liberal or Republican or Democrat. That's not what I'm saying.
no,
I respect both parties. I respect all people.
what
It's
I'm
not about that. It's
yeah.
about the fact that if anybody tries to tell you that all the liberals and all the Democrats are the pedophiles and all of the Republicans are the good guys, they're full of it. And
Oh
if
no,
anybody tries to tell you all the Republicans are the
absolutely.
pedophiles and all the Democrats are the bad guys or the good guys, they're full of it.
No, I
It
didn't mean
doesn't work that
what
way. It doesn't
yeah.
work that way. What
No,
what works is
sexuality has
there's,
no
and you know
political
this,
boundaries.
you're a victim, you know this.
Yep,
There
I
are
certainly do.
pedophiles in every family lineage. There is an abuser
Yep,
somewhere in the family
yep,
along the way in every family.
absolutely. Couldn't agree
Okay?
more.
So
And most abusers have multiple victims,
Yes, they
not
do.
just one.
that's right.
That's right.
Trump and Clinton were hanging with Epstein. Let's keep that clear for the records.
I
I will not
absolutely know
deny
that.
that Clinton's name was on that log line. So
Yes.
stop denying that Trump's name was there too.
Oh no, I'm not. Oh,
No, I'm
I'm
not
not.
saying you. I'm talking about the
Just
general
in
public.
general, dear.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
Sorry.
saying
no, I'm
because
not.
that's part of it is
I actually
they
know
delete
that.
Trump's name from the log list and they put out a
Yes.
new log list with all these celebrities that were never even on the first one.
100% I know that.
It's just ridiculous.
No, you know what? You nailed it. And and
Okay,
there was,
good. I'm glad we agree.
no, I agree 100%. And I'm not trying to stir the pot and I'm not crazy.
No, I
No,
didn't say
no,
that.
no,
I'm just
not
saying
at
that,
all.
we're easily misled because, listen, we have a lot to be angry about. People are angry. People are pissed. You know
Yeah.
what? What's happening to our children is happening to our children.
Right?
That's not a lie. That's
That's right.
not made up. There are sick satanic cults. There
Yeah.
are,
True.
satanic
Yes.
worshipers that use children in their blood. All of this
Yes.
stuff is true. This
Yes.
happens in the world. But
Yes.
let's not just go pointing fingers lazily at the other party or the other guy or
Yeah.
whoever we want to point at and paint as that bad guy. Let's look at facts and
Yes.
investigate the
I
things
agree.
that need to be investigated. And
I
I have laid out 10 names in my
I agree.
film, mytruthdoc.com. That's
I
where
love
you can watch it. But I've laid out 10 names with real stories, with real eyewitness accounts, with real people that were there, that saw it, that witnessed it, that were part of it.
yeah.
And these people had the courage to come forward and tell their truth. And
Yes.
that is where an investigation should begin.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
I
Amen.
Because we're all on the same side at
we
the end of
really
the
are.
day.
We really
Yeah.
are. And if every single person on the planet, I'm not talking about the USA and Canada, if every single person on this planet found their power and stood up, can you imagine the power we could take back?
Why do you think there's COVID? They're afraid of this. They
I
don't
know.
want that. They got to
Ab-
keep their sheep in line.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you know what COVID stands for?
What?
Certificate of ID.
Certificate of vaccinated IDs.
Thank you.
I like it.
It
Mm-hmm.
is.
I mean, I don't like it, but that sounds about right to me.
No, it truly, and if you look it up, it really is.
I think
Certificate of everything is documented.
Well, here's what I would say. Let's hope not. Let's hope for all
Well,
of our sake. Hi, leader of the pack, by the way. I wanted to acknowledge you because I saw some of the things you were saying, and God bless you. Anyway, I just want to say that
thank you
you
for
know,
taking my call.
you're
Um,
welcome. And listen, Connie, don't over worry yourself about all of that. The best thing that you can do is applaud yourself for your recovery, and know that
as
you
well
are
as
you are blessed to have the opportunity to have true love in your life, and I'm glad that you have found that. So focus on the positives.
and trust. Oh, I'm positive. Oh, you know what? That's the thing about me. I came back strong. I swear, I came back strong, just like you just did. And I pray that you don't have to hide for the rest of your life. I pray
Thank you.
that you can live a normal life at some point and get back to reality and your friends and your family. That truly means so much to all of us, just
God
like
bless. God
just
bless.
us. Corey, I
Amen.
honestly have followed you forever.
Oh, thank you.
You are an
Well,
angel.
I hope we haven't disappointed you yet.
You never could, and neither could
Thank
Courtney,
you.
but you are an inspiration to every single one of us that have been abused.
Oh, God bless you. Well,
You
thank
are
you. I
our voice,
appreciate you.
and God
Well,
love
I
you.
appreciate you, and you're my voice. You guys keep me strong, and thank you for your words tonight. They were very inspirational and very moving. So we love you, and stay
Yes.
Bless
strong.
you.
Cheers.
Courtney, bless you so much, and take he's an angel.
Oh, thank you, honey. You're so sweet. Much
You're so
love.
sweet too. Much love back from Canada. We truly
Yes.
From
love you.
One
Canada to
Canadian to
Canada.
another.
There you go.
From
That's,
one Canuck, we
that's
Yes.
love
right.
you.
That's right.
Go Canucks. All right. See you later. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Oh, wait. How do we do that? There you
Click
go.
the
No,
X,
I got
dear.
it. I got it. There you go. All right. Well, that was fun. Well, hey guys, I'm pretty tired after all that. That was like a whole radio show or something. That was like a 2 hour live. I think we did tonight. So
Yes.
lots of fun. But thank you for connecting, everybody. I loved speaking with you and sharing the time with you, leader.
Yes.
Word to my leader brother.
Lot of
Gina, we
confessions
love
on
you.
this thread tonight
Yeah, a lot of
too.
people
Thank
have come
you for
forward.
everyone being so brave and sharing that. You know, it really gives other people strength to come forward as well,
And
and that
hopefully, when
has
people
serious
watch the
weight.
playback, they'll be able to see
Yeah.
all that too. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But anyway, I think that was a very healing night. We laughed, we cried. It was
Yep.
better than Cats. Now go watch My Truth doc and have a good Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Okay? Okay. Love you. Peace and
Bye.
love.
Love you.
Hey, and here's a good idea of what you can do, by the way, over Memorial Day weekend. Call or email all of your friends and family and tell them why they need to watch My Truth doc over Memorial Day weekend. Isn't that a fun, fabulous idea?
Yes. I think it's the perfect idea.
Let's annoy the hell out of everyone. And just tell them, you gotta watch the damn movie! All right, you guys. Love you
I
guys.
have to do that with my family too.
MyTruthDoc.com.
You guys are next.
9 days left. Make them count.
Yes.
Love you. Peace and love.
Love you. Bye.
Goodbye. Wait, goodbye.